just to give an overview to the people who is actually in the call right now, I'm Christian. I'm the new growth manager here at Bifrost. And this community call of today will be to give an update to actually all our users of what's going on in the Bifrost ecosystem. We actually have to celebrate today because we just won the 18th batch of Polkadot Parachain slot auction. So yeah, can't wait for this. Oh, I can see we are growing. Hello guys. Sorry, chat, that is Ask Us Anything, where I'm writing right now. Ask here your question, where you can actually interact with us and ask here your question. Yeah, let's try that. I can see Simply Angel replied. Also, whatever you need to ask, please use this chat. While me and Tyrone, we will briefly update all of you about the latest Bifrost progresses and what we are expecting for the next step of Bifrost. So, without any other loss of time, we can just start. I want to introduce all of you to Tyrone, our council member. I'm glad to have you here and I can interview here. So, just fresh start with the, let's say, saucy news. We just won the Bifrost Polkadot crowd loan. It's news went out this morning, in the early morning. So, what does it mean for Bifrost to win the Polkadot 18th batch slot? So, be a parachain in the Polkadot ecosystem.
Thanks, Kristen, and thanks for inviting us this time. This is the first time that we have this community call together, so very glad to be here and with you. And I've seen many ambassadors is in this community call, and I'm happy to share with you some updates about Bifrost. At this time, yes, we got the Polkadot Parachain this time today, and it's a happy time to celebrate this. And for the further steps, I think that we will initially launch the SLP palette in Polkadot set. So, which means the on Polkadot set SLP will launch definitely the VDOT as the first the staking derivative on Bifrost Polkadot Parachain. And then we will keep doing the migration things from Kusama palettes to Polkadot set, and which is mainly based on the growing of the mature of the Kusama to Polkadot common bridge. So everything about the migration will be done based on the bridge. Yes.
Yeah, great. I know this SLP, that is Load Action Liquidity Protocol 2.0, actually is on its way. And I guess this will change the experience and the interaction of users between the protocol and what they can do actually about it. Yeah, but you were talking about now we are in this Polkadot ecosystem. We were actually in Kusama ecosystem, so in the Canary in the Canary network actually of Polkadot. For who is just joined Bifrost, maybe it's worth to know that 1 year ago we won the first batch, the first 5 batch of Kusama Canary network. So it's been a year. We are active on Kusama, and now it's the time to bridge the entire Bifrost experience to actually Polkadot. About Kusama, one of the products we proposed on Kusama is the VKSM that is actually the stacking derivative of KSM. What do we reach so far, like in the last period with our stacking derivatives?
Yes, we launched the Kusama at 16th of this month, and right now it's been passed in about 14 days, and we have accumulated about 70,000 KSM right there. So I have to say that during the progress there, there was about 20,000 KSM redemption during the period. So the total number of accumulation VKSM minting was reduced a little bit. But after the data analyzing during these 14 days, from my side, I have found that the Bifrost protocol of VKSM minting is the highest accumulation in the staking, derivative solutions among, Karura, Moon Riverside, and the Parallel. So the existing several projects and Bifrost launched at the 16th, and we indeed accumulated the most and advanced amount of KSM minting during this time. So quite a happy thing to announce here, and we would like to keep going on this VKSM utilities. The next upcoming is right on the way is the VKSM farming on a single token. It is keep going on there, and the next on the 2nd of June. So the VKSM, the KSM liquidity pool will be opened up. So that's the next utility for that, and even the further steps, VKSM will be transferred to the VS XC VKSM on the Moon River side. So it will be definitely entered to the environment of EVM, and that's another further step.
Yeah, actually, this is great. Like I was talking with Bonnie, that is our like head of business and developments as well, and we were just discussing this morning that we reached like more than 100,000 VKSM minted in the just first days of this minting process. So it was great. How about this? I know that we want to create a kind of like program that would reward our users according to their, like, let's call it loyalty to the protocol. So as much as like are their interaction within the protocol, they will be rewarded accordingly. Can you talk about this Rainbow Boost? It's his name, and has it been successful right now? And what are the next steps you see for this program in the future?
Okay, the Rainbow Boost program is the a kind of ranking of a point or scores in the Bifrost on-chain governance and on-chain behaviors. So it's a long-term project, I have to say. It will closely relate to the average steps of Bifrost product online. So during, according to the timeline of Bifrost product, now is VKSM next step, VMOVR, and V dot, V Fala. So each of these derivative token is one step of Bifrost product timeline. So the Rainbow Boost project will definitely follow this timeline and onboarding more of on-chain behavior stimulation right on the way. So the score you have accumulated is definitely well used on the further steps of events. This time VKSM. So next time VMOVR also open up the Rainbow Boost, and you maintain your redemption transaction. The behavior on chain will definitely be accumulated on chain, and in the long term version, the score of your Rainbow Boost will literally decide your intensity on Bifrost. So it will influence the right of your voting in governance. So we will integrate this into the governance in the further upgrade version. So we are also communicating with the NFT project Donkey for the design of a new, the Asgard style NFT for releasing. So the score will definitely relate to the NFT receiving, and it will be a job to the Rainbow Boost users.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a kind of fair goal. The more you are involved in the platform, and of course, the more you will receive this kind of like reward. It's called actually raindrops. You can all discover more about on our Medium. About this, I would love like to have a bit of interaction from whoever is like following this conversation. So feel free to ask us anything in the chat, and just in the end of this call, we can obviously answer some quick question from you. Talking about like this V token you just told us about, I know that another product we are actually developing is the VS Dot. I know that VS Dot minting volume has surpassed 2 million, and soon it's in our plan to activate the liquidity farming. Can you give us a bit of more information about like for also our users?
I know that most of you may be expecting for the VS Dot liquidity pool. So we haven't yet opened it because the SLP 2.0 version is about releasing, and it will closely affect the trading experience of VS token and the VS bond. So we will launch the VS Dot liquidity pool once we launch the SLP 2.0, and which will onboard the VS bond market. Actually, it's not VS bond market; it's the bond market. The bond will include the components of VS token and VS bond as a compound to being a easily to understand as a bond. So you have a redemption period, you have the arbitrage overview, and you can easily know to make the decision how will you trade the bond. So even if you don't know any knowledge about the crop or these things, so it's quite easily understand as a bound. So once we release it, and we will take the first step from VS KSM to VS bound. And once we release it, VS Dot liquidity pool will be meaningful to be launched, and the VS bound with the VS Dot and the VS bound will be launch the SLP 2.0 after that. So for the time, I know you're concerned about the time. So the SLP 2.0 will estimately launch at the 10th or 11th of June. So VS Dot liquidity pool will maybe one week after the SLP 2.0.
Yeah, sure. You were super clear. Switching briefly to our chat question, I can see already some of our users and investors are actually asking us. There is Joaco would like to know better about V token. So can you give us maybe a quick explanation again of what SLP is and what are these so-called V tokens you mentioned before, like V mover, V dot, and
V token is full name of that is the vulture token. So it's the vulture token of your staking token on certain power chain or blockchain. So for example, we have launched the V Ether. So it's the vulture token of Ethereum 2.0. So you can do the staking on Ethereum 2.0 and receive the vulture Ethereum as a shadow token with yield bearing feature, which means you will hold the V token, V Ether, and you will also receive the the staking interest. So which means you have your staking assets in your hand with liquidity, and by the way, you also holding the staking interest on your hand. So I think that's the easy way to explain what is the V token now. It's a shadow token. It's the yield bearing token of your staking token. So it is what it is.
yeah, and it's kind of an like a win-win situation because on one side you get like the reward from stacking your token, and on the other side, of course, you have the freedom to play around with these V token and earn maybe more rewards. About this, there is King Kuta, hi King, that is asking how many chain is Bifrost currently like on, and what are the plans for a multi-chain expansion in the future? I know for sure that we will be part of the XCM, that is the cross-chain that is coming to Polkadot and make like accessible to other chain, like for example Ethereum and whatsoever.
Yep. Currently functional on. So functional means the utility of any Bifrost project, right? And Bifrost product. So I have to say we are taking step by step. So on the current step, we just establish the relationship with different blockchains. Okay, I answer the question again. Okay, so about this question, Bifrost current functional on. So a functional, I think that means to be the Bifrost product function or utility on different cross-chain scenarios. So we taking this step by step. So on this step, the first step we are taking is to build the relationship with different blockchains, different power chains. Okay, so we clear. Okay. The current stage we are building a relationship with different blockchains and the power chains, and we open up the HRMP with different power chains, and so that's preparation for the further steps of functional on different power chains. So right now we established a channel with different power chain, and the next step is to deploy the functional product and functions on different power chains. So for example, the next step is we put on the function on Moonriver side, and we have built the channel with Moonriver with HRMP channel. V token can be switched to Moonriver as the XC format, and so on. The BNC and MOV are also being the same situation, for the different environment version transaction. And so next step, in June, we will launch. First one is the XCVKSM on Moonriver side. you can easily transfer the VKSM to Moonriver and deploy it on the Moonriver DEXs, DeFi protocols. So as you wish, and definitely XCV MOVR will be another option for MOVR holders. So I think I think that's answer maybe is point out to the functional one. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is a lot of things that are coming on, and we can't wait for that. Actually, on this note, I can see here a question of Yakazo that is asking if there is any chance to see the borrowing function on Bifrost app, and if there is a timeline for that. I quote, I think is highly needed for Kusama because there is almost no opportunity on Kusama except Moonriver. It would be great to collateral BNC for borrow. Is there anything we can answer to Yakazo?
Yep, Yakazo, great question. For the borrowing function, actually we haven't decided whether we will deploy this function by ourselves or we just make it happen to expert protocol. So for example, we are actually communicate and cooperating with the Tiger protocol and Konomi protocol, which they are actually in charge for the aggregative of different derivatives and make it flows to the to the liquidity, and the other one Konomi is building on the pallet and the EVM smart contracts for the substrate assets, collateral and borrowing. So I think we just leave this function to the expert protocol and expert team to do that. So for us, to support a function of collateral and borrowing is definitely a serious thing. For consider about the the collateral rate and make the mechanism reasonable and keep it all clean and keep it all risk lower and transparency is another. It's definitely a project doing things, but not simple functions. So maybe it's the best way to do that is we cooperate with the power chain, like Polkadot, Magata, who's maybe doing the function of collateral borrowing, and we can push that. So we are looking for the best solution on the ecosystem about it, and we have to make sure we keep going on this step. Must be the lowest risk. So the answer is we haven't decided yet, but we are finding the best one.
Yeah, and of course, now that we are like also on Polkadot ecosystem, will be kind of like easier to turn around and see like what kind of collaboration amongst the Polkadot relay chain we can like create for the future. I want to use like John Kendo question actually to remind all of you that we will post the recording of this call. It is actually made by General Bacon, one of our ambassadors. Thank you so much, General Bacon.
I can explain this one in 1 minute. So I will
Sure.
about how V tokens work. So it's quite easy. V token is the virtual token on Bifrost. So I think how V token works is how we mint the V token and give it to users and how users can use it. So on the back end, the logic is we actually monitoring the directional chain status. So if like John Cato, if you want to do the staking things and you do staking through Bifrost, so we have an order from you and we delegate the KSM or other token to the destination chain. and we monitor the status of the destination chain and give it back to the message to Bifrost and mint a derivative for you. So you can receive that derivative right now. And when you do the redemption, we send the message to the destination chain and call that the redemption on the chain. And then we have the KSM back. And, we just pay it back for you. So it's quite simple.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the most important features of actually Bifrost. One of the most interesting product as a user that I would like use if I would like want to join Bifrost as well.
Okay, it's a great question. Gioacco, what's the difference between your work and other chain do? Because I see a lot of similarities in various chains. Thanks to you as well. Okay. By now, I think the computation one is the VKSM, right? So we have in the ecosystem there are the computator of Paolo, Karura, us, and Lido, right? It's doing the same thing for the KSM derivative. So the advantage for each project will reflect on the small feature for the user's friendly experience. So on Bifrost, the most advanced and or you say the creative thing is we support users to redeem the KSM within 7 days. The fixed redemption period on Relay Chain is 7 days. We actually doing the advanced mode on UpNet, and it's achieved by the backend logic. It's a little bit complicated. If you want to know, you can reference to Bifrost wiki and learn how the mechanism solution. But briefly, is you can easily redeem your VKSM to KSM within 7 days, and if the reserve is enough, and you can evenly receive your KSM back in second, which means there's a floating period from 1 second to 7 days. So I think it's a great improvement for the user's experience, right? And that's the most and majority one. And the second one is the VKSM is automatically absorbing the staking interest upon the price of VKSM. So your staking interest and the staking reward is adding to the price of VKSM because we doing it on the back end as a big pool to receive the staking, the staking amount and the staking interest as the big pool, and reflects on the price of VKSM and KSM. So the VKSM is keep increasing the price by involving the staking interest. Yes, so that's the answer. Thanks for the question.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who's like actually doing a question, taking some time to participate to this call. Yeah, as you said, like one of the I think best feature is that you can just redeem it immediately instead of waiting for an unbonding period that sometimes could be 7 days, but for other protocol, maybe very well known, it's maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and when you just stake your asset for 3 weeks, it could be kind of annoying, like when you need to redeem it, just wait that long amount of time. So absolutely, it's something that that will be like a great feature. Gikiran is asking, may I ask how to become the ambassador? You have to send me a DM basically, and we will evaluate all your requests. There is some request that is actually going on. So yeah, DM or winner, that is like here with this yellow surfboard with noodles, and yeah, send me some sample of your work, and I will be glad to review it for sure and pass it to the core team for an evaluation. Thanks, Geeky.
I've seen Geeky being participate in the community call and other calls for many times. So yeah, happy
Love
to
it.
join for the ambassadors. Yeah.
See, already +1 for Geeky. Yeah, great. So yeah, I guess there it is. If someone want to ask some other question, otherwise, like, you can always reach us on Discord, Twitter, and Telegram. I can post on Ask Us Anything chat the link to our Telegram channel, Discord channel you are already in, and our Twitter page. So you can just follow us and interact with us as much as you want. Now things are getting spicy, so it will be nice for you to be on this. Absolutely. Well, I want to thank everyone which participate to this call. First of all, Tyrone, for his time to answer my question and the question of the community. Hope we've been quite clear during the entire call. And if, of course, you have any kind of like trouble, issue, question, you can always reach us to our pages. It will be a pleasure for us to help you and answer your question. So thanks to everyone. See you, Tyrone, and of course see you like next month, because there will be a community call every month. Basically, it will be end of the month, but of course there will be kind of announcement about it, so you won't miss it.
Thanks, Christian. It's a good host.
Yeah, thanks to everyone, and yeah, see you very, very, very soon. Bye.
See you guys next time. Bye.